Hello, Henry from Belgium here. Today, a video about Lego Set 163, Cargo Wagon from 1977. I have the set complete, including the box, manual, and all the parts. This set is part of LEGO's Trains theme, specifically under the 4.5/12-volt sub-theme. Considering that this set is over 45 years old, the box is still in good condition. It's the kind of box where you can slide the cover off the inner box, which I've always liked, because that way you don't have to cause any damage to the sides to open the box. I noticed two sturdy edges in the inner box, which make it a bit narrower. That way, the box gives the illusion that it's packed full of parts, but in reality, the set only contains 128 pieces, which isn't as many as you might expect from the outside of the box. Another thing about the box is that when it's closed, you can't easily tell which side is the front and which is the back. That's because there isn't a central image on the front. It's filled on both sides with photos of different sizes. Normally, I wouldn't be a fan of this, but in this case, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I actually enjoy how the extra images give you more inspiration and show different ways of how you can build the set. What I find particularly surprising and pleasing is that the manual hasn't been folded in half again to fit inside the box, something you see in many older sets. When I open it, the size is handy, and the instructions are easy to follow, with clear hand-drawn pictures on both sides. The manual is split into 3 parts, A, B, and C, each representing a different section of the build. Although the instructions show 3 things to build, there is actually just one main build. In other words, you can't build everything that's shown in the manual with the available pieces. You'll need to choose what to build. For today, I'm going to follow the instructions for Structure C, which is the main build and which features a crane system. That is one of my favorite things to build with LEGO. What I can already say is that there are 2 winches, one for the hook and one for the crane arm. It's a simple but clever design, and I'm excited to see how it all comes together. It's been a while since I showed you a train set, especially an older one from the 1970s. The first thing you'll notice is the classic green artwork and the blue rails. There are 2 minifigs in this set, but they're from the earlier generation without facial expressions and limbs. These figures were produced between 1975 and 1977, and the color of their pants, torso, or headgear could vary. It's a pity that both figures are identical, but their inclusion still adds significant play value. Many of the LEGO train sets from this era didn't include any minifigures at all, so it's a nice bonus. So this set contains 128 parts, which, as you'll notice, are all quite basic. This makes sense given the time period in which it was produced. The majority of the pieces are blue and black bricks, which creates a cohesive look. The parts that immediately stand out to me are the train bases, which have some interesting variations in size. One base is a 6x16 type, while the other is 6x12. What makes these bases even more distinctive are the blue and red magnets mounted on them. These magnets are not only recognizable, but also add a pop of color, especially when paired with the red wheels that accompany them. This particular type of base was produced between 1972 and 1978 and can only be found in 12 different sets, which adds an element of rarity and historical significance to it. Another element that catches my eye is the winch. It's through the discovery in the manual that I realized the set actually contains 2 of these winches. I had seen one in an older set before, but this is the first time I've come across it in blue. By the way, Research tells me that this winch in blue only appears in this set. So great to have it. Additionally, the gray parts are also worth noting. This light old gray is one of my favorite shades, so it's the classic version, not the more modern bluish gray. If you're aiming for historical accuracy, it's important to be aware of this detail. Lastly, it's essential to carefully check the round 1x1 bricks to ensure they have closed studs, as this is another key feature for authenticity. Building the set goes well and is not that difficult. What really stood out to me is the condition of the bricks. Given their age, they're in great shape, and I hardly need to clean them at all. Other bricks worth mentioning are the transparent parts. While they're not exactly rare, it's always nice to see them again. I don't come across this type of windscreen too often in my collection. Stickers are always a nice bonus in a set. According to Bricklink, they're unique, but I've actually seen them before in my 1975 Harbour set, of which you can already find an extensive review on my channel. Here, it's especially fun, because there are 4 stickers in total, and I still have 2 unused ones left on the sheet. These extra stickers are intended for the alternative build, though that never happened. After assembling the cabin, I move on to constructing the crane arm, using the classic light old grey plates. It took a bit of figuring out how to mount the 2 ropes properly. One rope needs to be placed underneath the windscreen, while the other one goes over the top. One rope is secured between a 2x2 plate, and the other one is attached to a modified 2x3 plate with a hole and hook. The roof features a small decoration, and once that's done, this part of the build is complete. Overall, the design is quite well thought out. The rear winch is used to move the crane arm and stays in various positions, making it genuinely functional. The front winch, on the other hand, is used to hoist the hook. I find it fascinating to see a crane system that's executed in a unique way. The use of 2 separate winches is something I haven't seen before, and that makes it special for me. While I'm happy with most of the build, the finishing on the ropes feels a bit messy to me. I don't have an immediate solution to tidy it up with just a few extra pieces, but overall, it's a nice result. Each base gets the familiar train buffer parts. One comes with round 1x1 bricks, fences, and blue tracks. The other one includes blue tracks and a turntable, on which I can mount the cabin. I haven't mentioned the shutters yet, but they're a lovely extra detail that enhances the overall design. Upon closer inspection, I now understand how the hoisting mechanism works. It turns out the hook itself isn't really meant to function as a hook in the traditional sense. Instead, the idea is to attach the tracks to the studs on the hook. I'm genuinely pleased with the finished result, especially considering it was produced in the 1970s. And that's not all. The set offers 2 additional build options. There are plenty of extra bricks included for this. If you're buying the set secondhand, it's essential to ensure all the parts are included to have a complete set. For example, I noticed parts I hadn't seen before, like these old gray pieces I didn't own. There are also extra fences and gates, which aren't shown in the alternative builds, but are included. I also see some yellow 1x1 round bricks with closed studs, and quite a few blue slope bricks. This set offers a lot of possibilities, and that's one of its biggest positives. Honestly, I can't find much to complain about, aside from the somewhat untidy finish with the ropes. But in the grand scheme of things, the set offers immense playability, multiple build options, and the timeless charm of the 70s. For these reasons, it certainly deserves a place in my collection. Feel free to comment below this video. And don't forget to subscribe, it's free. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.